Experimental 1.5 is out, my boys. I'm just going to quickly run through everything that's come out and go through the patch notes. Hopefully we can clear some things up. Yeah, just wanted to start off first, updated on Steam. This came out probably about 8 hours ago, maybe a little bit longer. So first things first, changelog. They did add the RPGs. 22 and the 75, they added new uniforms, new tiger stripes, new types of rounds, the anti-personnel mine, looks like one for each side, for the Russian and the American side, hand-fired flares, which wasn't actually teased, but looks like we had a little bit more than we expected. Full driving and assistance mode, so the engine won't turn off when the driver gets out, just some tweaks, exiting a vehicle won't stall it. Cars are stalling when switching seats, so that's good that they fixed that. Vehicles could be controlled even when the pilot wasn't physically seated, so that's like when you're jumping out of a vehicle, you know, like a heli, and you're holding a button, it just locks that button. Moving on to the actual general updates, we've got the ability to move on vehicles, so, you know, being able to generally move on vehicles, shoot through them and whatnot. We've got the ability to assemble stationary turret weapons and mortars, so instead of taking that big construction truck, loading it up with supplies, you can just get it from base, chuck it in the car, drop it on the ground, and then just set it up. You don't have to build sandbags or anything. You also have the optional ability to build sandbags separately now, which is also a nice addition. I don't think they teased that, so that's good. Wrecked vehicles can be salvaged by using the repair truck. So now you can finally, you know, if you crashed a vehicle, bring the repair truck out, salvage it, and then get more supplies back for your base. They've added the foliage now moves when your character or vehicle passes through it. Obviously, it's not going to stop people camping because obviously you want to be in foliage to cover yourself, but it will be nice to look through when, you know, people are going through thick bush. And, you know, you'll be able to see it move, which will be a little more immersive. Support for joysticks and throttle devices. So HOTAS setups like your joysticks and thrusters will be able to use. So, you know, you've got a Logitech X56 or something like that, you'll be able to use those. And I hope now that we're going to be able to see a lot more professional driving, let's say, because damn, there's some real shit pilots out there. Moving on, bit more ragdoll animation blending. Weapon desync, causing weapons to not fire on the server. So I'm assuming that's like where you get your ghost bullets, you know, you shoot someone and nothing happens. I'm sure it's not completely fixed, but they've probably added some measures to help out with it. Some more fixes, some character slope movement, which would cause your character to fly in the air. Character wouldn't properly unequip a weapon when it was deleted from their hands. That's probably more of a admin thing. Just some more fixes. I think this one's pretty good when you get stuck or when the weapon's removed. Moving on to playable content. So some more things that they've added. They did add the single player scenario, air support. They've added the HQ commander role. Players can volunteer or vote for a commander. Basically, there's going to be a command post sign outside every base that prompts your entire team to do a vote. Only one person can be a commander, and there'll only be a one-person squad. So once you leave that, then it'll free it up, and then someone else can become a commander. Basically, what it's going to do is more of just a standover man. They're basically just going to tell the team what to do. They can set some things like priority for logistics. I'm assuming that'll give more XP. They can hover over things like harbors and airfields, which will show you when the next supply shipment's going to arrive. You can create tasks for players. So there's a seize enemy base, assault anywhere, defend anywhere, resupply, build, dismantle, recon, and establish base, which is moving on to establishing bases. Establishing bases, basically a commander must place an established base objective. It can't be placed 500 meters within map placed objectives. So there's another base in the area. They can't stack it, and they can be placed on top of the supply depots. So that'll probably be a good idea, because then you'll be able to set up a base really quick, and you'll be able to take the supplies directly from there. You still needed a construction truck though, with at least 300 supplies, and then drive to the established objective, and then it can be built on there. So then next is group types and associated loadouts, together with the ability to vote for squad leader. Basically, there's new squad roles. So at the moment, there's 12 possible squad roles: assault, recon, machine gun, engineer, medic, transport, heli transport, mechanized, anti-tank, mortar, special forces assault, and special forces recon. These roles affect what type of objective you're doing. For example, the anti-tank teams and the assault teams will attack and defend waypoints. The recon will recon waypoints. Engineers will repair and support, and so on and so forth. Support requests can be made by squads. With the new pinwheel interface, it requests it all through there. Military supply allocation by rank. Basically, the more you rank up, the more supplies you can use, so it's just going to stop people from griefing. Command post in the HQ tent. With the commander, basically, he can access every single base from the main base, and he'll be able to build, control, logistics, and whatnot. New objective added, recon objective type. AI transport groups, which can be sent by the commander to resupply bases, controllable through the logistics command post. So as I said in my previous video, you're going to be able to get AI to transport around supplies now which will, I think that's a good addition, especially when you have people that aren't going to be doing supply runs as much. And also just, it's good for single player missions. You can make the AI basically do your bidding. Storage composition. Game masters can now use the radios, so we might get some trolling with that, who knows. XP rewards and supply costs were heavily tweaked. New XP rewards added, including vehicle repair, medical assistance, and supply unloading. So I think that's huge. You know, now you're going to have actual roles of people doing other things and other way to earn XP. Repairing vehicles, some medical assistance, so we can actually have some medics that'll actually level up. Supplies are now generated at harbor and airport bases, so just another location for supplies. Location and composition of FI forces were heavily changed on all maps. Name tag visualization and rules were heavily tweaked, and they removed the transport request to deployed radio. Some stability and performance tweaks, so some destructible areas, just basically some improvements on that to make sure that they restream the destructibles. When you go back to an area that was destroyed, it'll stay like that instead of, you know, there being slight differences from the last time that you were there. Several improvements on memory consumption, so I think that's a little bit of a FPS boost. I know a lot of people will have RAM lag and RAM leak, which will just burn their frames. A bunch of crash fixes, just a bunch of AI fixes. Controls added some Logitech Light Sync support, so I think that'll also probably go in line with her task setups, so your joysticks and your throttle. Some audio fixes, so some workshop fixes. I know there was a lot of corrupted bugs, and trying to add new mods, it would just not let you do it, so hopefully that fixed that. Just a bunch of more modding fixes. I'm not 100% sure on what they all mean, but I'm assuming this will free up some more space for the modders, and you know, with everything here, it'll just add so much more to it. So yeah, that's the patch notes. This will be an experimental, I think, for a while. I know they're going to take it a little bit slow, but yeah, tell me what you're most excited about in the comments, and see you on the battlefield. Catch ya.